The last train to nowhere. Sarah stood on the empty platform, watching the sun disappear behind the mountains. 3 months ago, she had been sitting in a grey office, staring at a computer screen, feeling like her life was slipping away. This can't be all there is, she had whispered to herself that day. Now, here she was in a small Swiss village, waiting for a train that might never come. The station master had left a handwritten note. Last train, 7:47 p.m. Maybe. Maybe. That word had become Sarah's favorite over the past 3 months. Her journey started with a simple decision. One morning, she walked into her boss's office and said, "I quit. I'm going traveling." Her friends thought she was crazy. Her mother cried. But Sarah knew that the real craziness was spending another day pretending to be happy when her soul was screaming for adventure. The first few weeks were terrifying. She got lost in Paris, missed her train in Barcelona, and accidentally ordered snails in a French restaurant. But with each mistake, something magical happened. She learned to laugh at herself and discovered that the world was full of kind strangers. In Rome, an old woman named Maria invited her for dinner after seeing her sitting alone in a cafe. They spent 4 hours talking with their hands, laughing, and sharing stories about life and dreams. "Life is not about the destination," Maria said. "Life is about the people you meet on the way." Those words stayed with Sarah. In Prague, she met a Brazilian musician who taught her guitar on the Charles Bridge. In Vienna, she helped a Japanese couple find their lost luggage and explored the city with them for 3 days. In Budapest, she cried in a stranger's arms after learning her grandmother had passed away. Each person left a small piece of themselves in her heart. But more importantly, each experience helped her discover pieces of herself she never knew existed. She learned she was braver than she thought. She learned she could survive on very little money and still be happy. She learned that happiness wasn't about having a perfect plan. It was about being open to whatever life brought. The mountain village where she now stood was never part of her plan. She had taken a wrong train and ended up here by accident. But this mistake gave her the most beautiful 2 days of her trip. She hiked through valleys of wildflowers, watched the sunrise from a mountain peak, and spent an evening with a local family. The father, Hans, was a carpenter who made wooden toys. "I wanted to see the world," he told her, "but life had other plans. So I brought the world to me. Every toy I make travels to a child somewhere far away, carrying a piece of these mountains." His words made Sarah think. Traveling wasn't just about moving from place to place. It was about opening your heart to new perspectives. Hans had never left his village, but he was one of the wisest travelers she had ever met. As the sky turned purple, Sarah heard the distant sound of a train whistle. She picked up her backpack and smiled. 3 months ago, she would have worried about where this train would take her. But now, she understood something profound. The journey had changed her because she had learned to trust herself and embrace uncertainty. The train doors opened, and Sarah stepped inside. She didn't know where it would take her, but she knew one thing with certainty. She was exactly where she needed to be. Through the window, she saw Hans and his family waving goodbye. In her pocket, she carried a small wooden bird he had given her. "Let this remind you," he had said, "that you were born to fly." As the train moved into the night, Sarah thought about Maria, the musician, the Japanese couple, and every person who had touched her life. They had all taught her the same lesson. Life is happening right now, in this moment. And right now, Sarah was free. Free from fear, free from doubt, free from What if? The train carried her toward another unknown destination, another adventure, another chance to discover that the world is far more beautiful than we imagine, and we are far more capable than we believe. Sometimes, the best journey is the one you never planned. Sometimes, the greatest adventure is simply saying yes to life. Sometimes, all you need is the courage to board that last train to nowhere, because nowhere often turns out to be exactly where you needed to go.